What is going on, guys? I had a company send me a really cool tool they wanted me to review. I thought it'd be a perfect time to incorporate it and talk about roadside tools, tools to take on trips with you, good tools just that throw in the back of your car to have in case you get broke down on the side of the road, have to change a tire, those kinds of things. My preferred method these days is to use Milwaukee Pack Out. Usually for my everyday, just going on a trip kit, I'm just going to use my small top box. Let's get into it. Once again, for my light kit, I'm just using this top box. The thing I like about the Milwaukee Pack Out is that if I need to expand this, if I'm going on a longer trip, if I'm going somewhere that I think I may have to work on something, if we're going to the sand dunes, things like that, we're gonna have to work on equipment, I'm gonna expand this out, use my other two boxes. But just for the everyday, this is plenty big enough to get some of the basic things we're gonna need. Now, what prompted this video is this company sent me this cool little tool. It is a jump starter with an air compressor, all built into one. I will throw a link to this down in the description if you want to pick one of these things up. It comes with a pretty sweet little carrying case. It's gonna be easy to throw into back of the car or back of the truck. Open this thing up, and what you have is, this is the battery pack itself. Here on the bottom, we can see, check our charge. 4 bars, this thing's fully charged. It's got a USB-C for charging devices as well as a standard USB. Now, a couple cool things that this does is this will jump start a car. Now, I don't think this is gonna be great if you're trying to jump start a 6.7 Power Stroke, but for normal gas engines, all the reviews I've seen, all the guys that have done videos on YouTube about it haven't had any issues. I haven't personally used this for the jump starting capability yet, but I have no doubt that it will work for what I need. Now, for that process, we've simply got our positive, our negative. We've got a keyed connection here at the bottom, and that is simply going to plug in to the bottom of the tool right behind this cover. You simply open that cover up, plug that directly into tool. You see we've got flashing lights. Whenever you hook to a battery, those go solid and it's ready to use. This has reverse polarity protection, so if you hook it up wrong, anything like that, you're not going to damage anything. Now, the other super unique thing about this setup is not only is it a jump starter, it's also a little compressor. So we can take this, it just slides right on top, and now we've got a little compressor to air up tires with. So up here in the top, it's got a short lead you can use to connect to your tires. That simply screws in to this end. Screws on just like that. To power it on, we're going to push our big button down here. We see this comes on. Now, this thing has a couple different modes. It's got car tires, motorcycles, bicycles, as well as, you could air up a basketball with this thing. The one complaint I do have is for the ball setting and the bike setting, we get PSI. For the vehicle and the motorcycle, it is only in bar. They do not have PSI for whatever reason. So what I used to carry is a jump starter and a little compressor to be able to air tires up. Those things being separate, you had to figure out somewhere to store them. Those take up a lot of room. This thing's really going to streamline both of these things all into one, into their own carrying case. Can be paired along with my toolkit, or it can just be thrown into the trunk of a car and use it in an emergency. Okay, now the real test is going to be how long does this thing actually take, and how accurate is it? So we want to check that. Once again, this only goes to bar, so I'm checking right here. I've got 1.75 bar in this tire, which should we change that over to PSI? That's 25.5 PSI. We want about 35 in this. So once again, bar, we're at 1.75. Let's see what this thing reads. Turn it on. Screw that on there. 1.7 bar. So that's pretty accurate compared to my actual normal gauge. Then what we need to do is simply set what we want it. 2.4 bar, that should be around 35 PSI. So let's go ahead and see how long this actually takes to run. So once you get it set, you simply press the power button and it should kick on and start airing it up. So to go from 25 PSI to 35 PSI, now granted this is a truck tire, so it's a little more of an extreme scenario, but it took about 8.5 minutes. So it did it though. This is not something that I'm gonna replace my compressor with, or even my Milwaukee when I'm going off-roading and you want to air down and air back up. This isn't gonna be the answer. However, for an emergency situation, side of the road, you know, I don't care if it takes 20 minutes. If it gets the job done in the scenario that I need it to, that works. Now let's see. So we didn't even use a single bar of battery to do that, so that's good. So it does have the capacity to keep going and air this thing up further if need be. Once again, truck tire is going to be a little more extreme scenario than just a car tire. Let's see how accurate it is. It's still reading 2.4 bar here. Let's get our gauge out. So 2.4 bar, so that's right on where we set it, 35.5 PSI, so it is accurate. Now let's take this thing over and see how it does on a bike tire. We're gonna try this bike tire, see how it does. Turn it on there. Set the mode, bicycle, 45 PSI. When it comes up, that's the max. Oh, no, it's not. Let's see what the max is. It's like 65 is the max. Let's set this one to 35, see how it does. So reads currently has 15.5. What we've got to do is hit go. Front tire also 15.5. Same thing, about 20 seconds. Overall, once again for the price, I think this is a pretty good deal. Now if you want something to use every day, of course this isn't going to be your option, go spend some extra money. But once again, if you just want something to have in case of an emergency, again you can jump start a car, air up your tires, charge devices. I think it's a pretty good deal. I'm gonna go ahead and add this into my rotation of tools moving forward. Quick, easy carrying case. But let's get into talking about what I actually keep in my toolkit. So in my small top Milwaukee, once again, this is just a very light kit just to get me by if need be. There's a few things that I want to add to this. Milwaukee actually makes a pack out socket set. There's a small version and there's a large version. I'll throw the links down below if you're interested in those. That's going to be my next purchase for my traveling tools, as well as they make a pack out first aid kit that I think I want to pick up. Those will just snap right on to any of my boxes and be super handy. Also, I usually keep a plug kit for tires. I'm currently out, got to pick some new ones up for my kit, but those are things that are currently missing and I'm usually going to keep with me. So what I've got in here, keep a quart of brake fluid, a quart of engine oil. Those are good things to have. Gloves, could always use gloves on the side of the road. Now, I just do this to make my life so much easier. I keep my impact in here, as well as a battery to run it. And then whatever vehicle I'm driving, if I don't have room and I'm just taking my small kit, I figure out what size socket I need for that vehicle, throw one of those in there. It's gonna make life so much easier if I have to change a flat tire. Of course, zip ties, always gotta have zip ties. Over here, I've got a couple flathead, a couple Phillips screwdrivers, crescent wrenches, as well as a couple pairs of Nipix pliers. Usually keep a couple rags in the kit. When we get over to this side, I keep gloves. This is something that's actually can be replaced by that air compressor that I now have, but this was, you know, check tire pressures. Keep this to be able to take valve stems in and out of a tire if need be. Of course, a small flashlight, battery post cleaner. This is something that I've used a few different times. A lot of times it's on someone else's vehicle. Maybe I was traveling with them, stop at a gas station, their car won't start, you pop the hood, you look at the top of their battery, the thing's just corroded. Nothing wrong with the battery, just not making good connection. Take that thing apart with your crescent wrench, clean it up, put it back together, you're good to go. Makes life easier. And then bungee cords. Always have bungee cords. Now once again, this is just my small kit, throw it in the car kit. In the truck, I've got a toolbox in the truck, I've got a tow strap, and I've got a lot of other stuff, but this is a good emergency kit. It's easy. In this small Milwaukee case, I can throw it in the trunk of a car, I can throw it in the back of an SUV, I can throw it in a truck. Easy to carry around. This thing is also completely watertight. You want to make sure that if you're carrying it around in the back of the truck that you're not going to get your tools completely soaked in a rainstorm. Now, if I want to take more, once again, I can move over to my kit here. This one is actually still somewhat set up from our last trip we went out camping. So I had my bigger compressor there, speaker, a good light, something to be able to plug things into. If I need to plug my laptop in or something that needs 110, need to run a little fan, this thing's awesome for that. I've got my full set of impact sockets there as well. Because pulling a trailer, now I've got different sizes for the trailer than I do on the truck, those type of things. Once again, that full socket set is another thing that I'm going to be adding to this moving forward. What do you guys think? What am I missing in my kit? What do you put in your roadside travel tool kit? Hopefully found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.